All right. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for, excuse me, getting up so bright and early to come to Art with Liz here at the beautiful Hoboken Library. Mega thanks to the library for allowing us to have these hybrid classes. Welcome to those of you who are either live streaming on YouTube or watching via Zoom, and to those of you who've come in person to join us in our Art with Liz classes. We are in the month of September 2025, and we are really thinking about new beginnings and refreshing our skills, just the way children entering the new school year are revisiting skills in preparation for their new year. And the way we're doing that this year is by looking at some oldies but goodies. And today we're looking at an artist that, gosh, I would hazard a guess that probably almost everyone on earth has heard of. And his name is Vincent van Gogh, right? Correct? I am looking at our fellow student Alice, who's actually studying Dutch, to make sure I said his name close to correct. So Vincent Wilhelm van Gogh was Dutch. And just for a taste of how popular Van Gogh is and how much has been written about him, this is a little bit of what's available about Van Gogh online, just a tiny fraction of the information that is out there about Van Gogh. There is a lot of information that is false about Van Gogh, and I would really encourage you to do your own reading and study of Van Gogh's life and work. Try and get through the myth and mythology about him, because it really, I think, affects our appreciation and understanding of his work. So I'm going to try and do a little of that for you today. As always, I want to alert everyone and caution everyone, I am not an art historian. The information that I have, I've gotten through my own studies. I am not an expert on Vincent van Gogh. So here we go. We're going to start with a short slideshow about his work. Then I'm going to offer you ideas and options for projects that you can do on your own, either here today or at home in the privacy of your own workspace. Vincent Wilhelm van Gogh was Dutch, as I mentioned. He was born March 30th, 1853. A fellow Aries, I'm proud to say. He was a post-impressionist painter. We have in past classes talked about what that means. You can come through. And I'm not going to dwell too much on that, but he not only learned a lot from the artists who came before him, people like Manet and Monet, whom we've spoken about in other classes, but he was a forefather for artists who came after him. People like Cézanne and even Picasso. So he's one of the forefathers of modernism. He became one of the most famous and influential figures in the history of Western art. Unfortunately, in his lifetime, he wasn't famous at all. He died, in fact, impoverished and alone. And it is kind of sad. He became very famous posthumously after he died through the efforts of his wife. She was an extraordinary person, but we're not going to talk a lot about her today. His wife, his brother, and his sister-in-law all worked together, Heather. Oh, right, you're right, sorry. His brother's wife, his sister-in-law, forgive me. You're right. Like I said, I'm not an art historian. He never married. He wanted to marry, which was part of what created the myth about Van Gogh. And his sister-in-law, who worked incredibly hard to push and market his work and his image, is the person who made him the famous artist that we know today. Thank you, Heather, for that major correction. He created in just a decade 2,100 artworks, including around 860 oil paintings, and most of those date from the last 2 years of his life. They include landscapes, still lifes, portraits, and self-portraits, and they are most famous and characterized by bold colors with dramatic and very large impulsive brushstrokes. And these expressive artworks are what contribute to the foundation of modern art. He unfortunately died of suicide at the age of 37 after years of battling and fighting against depression and poverty. So, this is very typical of Van Gogh's work. You can see that he used something that we called impasto. Impasto is a word that just means thick, heavy layers of paint. You guys, some of my veteran students are shaking their heads. We've used this word before. Why do you like it? I like to paint that way. You like to paint that way. It's a lot of fun, right, Eileen? It's energetic, it's loose, it's freeing, it's exciting to paint in this way. And I'm going to be doing a quick demo in how to apply impasto in your work later on in the lesson. He was born into an upper middle class family. He drew a lot as a child, and he was very serious, quiet, and thoughtful. In his early years, he worked for his brother. His brother had an art gallery, and he worked as an art dealer for his brother. He traveled extensively for his brother, including to London, where he lived for a while. And here he became depressed in London. He felt lonely and isolated. When he came back to continental Europe, he lived for a while in Belgium, and he became attracted to religion and became a Protestant missionary. He drifted into ill health and solitude, but then took up painting in 1881, which was an outlet for him and gave him a good deal of comfort and solace. And he turned to painting throughout the rest of his life to give him relief. Other things to look at and note in Van Gogh's style, very signature style.
I just sent you one.
Is
I got it just from Margot.
Dark outline. Hi, Dina. I'm going to remind you to please mute. Thank you and welcome. The dark outline is very much in Van Gogh's style. Look at around the vase. There's a thin brown outline. And then here at the top of the table on which the vase is sitting, he also uses the thin outline. Another characteristic of his work are the bright, vivid colors. He loved color. At the period that he did this kind of work, he was groundbreaking. No one prior to Van Gogh was painting in this way. In 1881, he moved back home with his parents, and his older brother, Theo, supported him. They were very close throughout their lives. In 1886, he moved to Paris, where he met other members of the avant-garde group, other artists, including Émile Bernard and Paul Gauguin. They were artists who were starting to react against the Impressionists' norms of that time, particularly Gauguin did not want to paint in the way that the Impressionists were, and Van Gogh was attracted to that kind of thinking. So he started developing a new approach to still lifes and local landscapes. His paintings started growing brighter, and he stayed for a while in Arles in the south of France in 1888, and his subject matter grew and started to include his famous paintings of olive trees, wheat fields, and sunflowers, like we saw in the previous painting. So this is another very famous Van Gogh painting. This is his room. It's actually the room he was living in when he invited Gauguin to stay with him, and where they had their famous fight, which caused Van Gogh to cut part of his bottom earlobe, which created the whole horrible myth that he removed his ear, which really did not happen. So he suffered from psychotic episodes and delusions, Van Gogh, and people were terribly worried about his mental stability. He frequently neglected his physical health. He didn't eat properly, and he drank heavily. He spent time in psychiatric hospitals, including a period at Saint-Rémy, after which he discharged himself and moved to Auberge, Raveau in Auvers-sur-Oise near Paris. And there he came under the care of a homeopathic doctor, Paul Gachet. And it was here that unfortunately he died, only very young, on the 27th of July, 1890. It is believed that he shot himself in the chest with a revolver. He died from his injuries 2 days later. Again, notice the extraordinarily beautiful bright colors, the use of the dark outline. Oh, here is Daniel. We thought you were on your vacation already.
It's next month.
It's next month. Okay, good. Well, welcome, and welcome, John. So very few people. Cézanne was another artist who used this kind of dark outline, but very few artists at this time. Manet used dark outline a bit. Notice the beautiful use of perspective in his work. the floor tiles or wooden pieces of wood in the flooring that recede back into space, the way he's drawn the lines in the bed to conform with the rules of perspective. Van Gogh really knew what he was doing. Anytime, folks, if you want to talk about his work, as always, please do. He painted a lot of self-portraits, similar to Frida Kahlo, like we were talking about last week. Artists love painting themselves because we have ourselves frequently available and we're cheap as models. And also, Van Gogh spent a lot of time on his own, so he was fascinated by his own face. If you are lucky enough to go to the Van Gogh Museum in Amsterdam, you can see the variety of ways that he portrayed himself. That just some of the most beautiful paintings I've ever seen in my life. You can see the progression of his illness, the anguish, the emotion in his face. They're amazing. Look at the motion, the swirling quality in the background. Many people believe that's an expression of the feelings that he was dealing with, the emotions that he was dealing with as well. Artists like the Fauvists who came after him, people like Matisse, art historians believe they were influenced by this emotive quality in his work, the high coloration in his work. People believe the Fauves were very attracted to what he was conveying in his paintings. Again, the heavy dark outline. In a lot of his self-portraits, he doesn't outline in black. He outlines in this gorgeous blue color. So that's something to think about in your work today as well. Again, he wasn't commercially successful during his lifetime because he was considered a madman and a failure. He only became famous after his suicide, but unfortunately, he was misunderstood. He was thought to be this wild genius. And not only did that destroy his reputation, but it kind of created this whole mythology about artists having to be crazy in order to be creative, which we all know is not true. So his reputation grew finally in the early 20th century as parts of his work, elements of his work were incorporated by the Fauves and the German Expressionists. And his work sold for greater and greater amounts of money to the point where today Van Gogh's paintings sell for millions. They're thought to be some of the most expensive paintings ever sold. And his work is owned by major institutions all over the world, but most of them are owned by the Van Gogh Museum in Amsterdam. Sunflowers were a particular favorite of his. I like to think they relieved some of his depression because of their extraordinary bright color and because of where he lived at the end of his life. He was surrounded by sunflower fields, and he could see them out his window. Oops, I think Oh, well, this is a detail of the other portrait. This detail is great because you can notice that each brushstroke is visible. He did not want to smooth the surface of his paintings. And this is, in many ways, what he is most famous for, is the incredible textural effect that he achieved in his work. Again, we call this the impasto, I-M-P-A-S-T-O. Those of you who are intent on learning how to do portraits, notice the proportions. The nose, even though it looks bigger than an eye length in this painting, the nose from the bridge to the tip is an eye length. Notice that the nose fits within the corridor from the top of the ear to the bottom of the ear. I love that so much about the human face. The eyes and the nose fit within the corridor of the top of the ear and the bottom of the ear. You see? Top of the ear, bottom of the ear. So the eyes and the nose fit within that space. It's all about the Greek golden mean. This is one of his landscape, seascape images. It's a little blurry, sorry. Another self-portrait. See how different it looks? So of course he painted at different periods in his life. So they show him in different light and in different moods and in different clothing. Always with that piercing stare. He also had a love for irises. He did a series of iris paintings. Just beautiful.
Can I see the seascape again?
I can't go back in the slideshow, but when the slideshow's over, Margot, I can show you. All right?
Thanks.
Sure. And it's readily available, you know, in Google. So this is arguably Van Gogh's most famous painting. It is called The Starry Night. There are books just on the Starry Night. I have it here. And there's a song called The Starry Night, yes. It's in the permanent collection of the Museum of Modern Art in New York City, so you can see it whenever you want, right here in New York. It was painted June 1889, and it is the view from the east-facing window of his asylum room at Saint-Rémy de Provence, just before sunrise. But it has the addition of an imaginary village. So it is not quite real. Again, you can really see the impasto texture in this painting. And this painting is one of many of the prolific images that he created during his stay at the asylum. And he painted this view at different times of the day, at sunrise, moonrise, and sunshine-filled days, often overcast and windy days as well. He made charcoal sketches, ink sketches of it, and then he would base his paintings on the sketches. And so much has been written about it. It's just incredible. He wrote to his brother Theo, quote, "This view of the countryside from my window is a long time before," hold on a minute, The morning I saw the countryside from my window a long time before sunrise with nothing but the morning star, which looked very big. Researchers have determined that Venus, sometimes referred to as the morning star, was indeed visible at dawn in Provence in the spring of 1889 and was at that time nearly as bright as possible. So the brightest star in the painting, just to the viewer's right of the cypress tree, is actually Venus. So that would be this. And then the one pictorial element that was definitely not visible from Van Gogh's cell is the village, which is based on a sketch made from a hillside above the village of Saint-Rémy-Piquevence, which was done later, and the steeple more Dutch than Provençal. So it's a conflation of several Van Gogh that Van Gogh had painted and drawn at a different period. And thus the first of his reminiscences of the North. He said very little about the Starry Night to his brother, despite a huge number of letters he wrote to Theo in his lifetime. I find that very interesting. So the most famous painting he's ever created, and he communicated very little about it. I think this is probably the last slide I have in the slideshow. Let's check to make sure. Yes. Any thoughts, comments? Laura? Yes.
Go upstairs, you go get yourself a pass. But they can be kind of pricey if you go to buy them yourself, right? Yeah, they're free. They're free.
Yeah. You do have to do it in advance, though. You like if you want to go to MoMA today, you can't get a pass for today. Absolutely. It's a wonderful perk of the Hoboken Library. Thank you. And I believe the Met, you can also get a free pass for the Met and other museums. So do avail yourself of that perk of the Hoboken Public Library. And you don't have to even have a library card here to get a pass to go to the museum. Thanks for that reminder, Laura. All right.
So what do we do?
Well, I'm waiting to hear. No one has anything to say about Vincent van Gogh. Wow.
What do you want?
Laura.
But in the beginning, they never covered it with glass. Did you ever get to see it at the moment before?
Oh gosh, I can't remember. I don't think so.
So it was very different to see, I think you
Yeah.
can see in person.
Laura, those of you at home who may not be able to hear, but Laura's asking if anyone has ever seen the Starry Night before MoMA covered it with glass. And I said, I can't remember. Maybe as a child. Patricia.
But I wanted to mention about that one particular self-portrait. You can really see the texture of his blazer, which is tweed.
Yeah.
Yes.
It was another
Are
one.
you looking at?
Arabesque. Even this one has arabesque and swirl shapes in the
Yes.
blazer itself. But if you see the self-portrait with the brown blazer, he really knows how to depict that one. That's phenomenal.
Yeah.
That's so difficult to paint. Like from fashion design, you always did fabric renderings. That's so difficult.
Well, I am going to be showing techniques for how to do this with palette knife and brush. It does take practice, but the effects are worth the extra effort. Yeah. And do remember, we are not Vincent van Gogh, and we don't have the color palette that he had. He probably ground his own pigments. His Theo bought him paints. Colors were different back in the day than they are today. So the kind of paint we're using is not going to replicate exactly the colors that he had available to him then. We are going to create art in our own style, our own wonderful style.
But
And
I-
Mark, here is the boat scene for you.
Oh, thank you. The impossible is with acrylic, right?
Well, you're jumping the gun for me, but I'm going to talk about that in a minute.
Okay. I mean, it's not a watercolor thing, that's what I'm saying.
I'm going to talk about that just right now. Really great segue.
Okay.
All right, so I'm going to stop the share so that I can talk about what we are, oh my goodness, what we're going to do today. I look like Van Gogh after he's had a bad night. And I want to go back to that huge error I made at the beginning of this class. And again, kudos to Heather for jumping on it right away. It was Van Gogh's sister-in-law. Van Gogh never married. Van Gogh's sister-in-law, who really made Van Gogh into the icon he is today. Because first of all, Theo died fairly soon after Van Gogh died. So the sister-in-law carried the legacy of Van Gogh forward. She was an extraordinary woman. There is a new book out about her. I haven't read it yet, but I'm dying to read it myself. Here are your options for today's projects. Many of you have brought in your own sunflowers. Those of you who are here today, so you must have read my email and anticipated one of the options that you have today. I'm inviting you to create a painting of a sunflower. That's option number one. I'm not doing these in any order of preference. You can do a painting of a sunflower. It is sunflower season. They are being harvested all over the world right now, particularly in Holland and France. You can do a landscape, of course, because Van Gogh did amazing landscapes, or a portrait, preferably a self-portrait. We started working on that last week. Alice, you don't have to choose that option. And finally, you have 4 options today. You can copy Starry Night. Everyone loves Starry Night. I invite you to actually try and copy it. Those of you who are here, I have brought in for this class only acrylic paint and pencils and Uniball pens. I have no problem with you doing a pencil and or Uniball sketch only. You know how I love drawing. I think drawing is the highest art form there is. And this is a great way to practice drawing. However, Van Gogh was just an incredible painter. So I invite you to use acrylic paint today. I didn't bring in watercolor paints today because trying to replicate his style of painting in watercolor paint would be incredibly challenging. And I didn't bring in any of the dry colored materials today because it would be nigh on impossible to try and work in Van Gogh's style in either soft pastel or oil pastel, or colored pencil for that matter. Any questions about what you can create today? And as always, if you don't like my project options, you can do your own thing. This is your opportunity to create and relax and enjoy. Any questions? I have one request for those of you who are here. There are some art supplies behind where Daniel and John are sitting. Don't touch those, please. So you see where Sally is? You can touch those supplies if you wish, and she allows. But before you get up, I'm sorry, I am going to do a demonstration, a very quick demonstration. It is optional for you to observe of how to use a palette knife and brush for doing impasto work. I have done this in past classes, so those of you who don't want to watch, you do not have to. I'm just asking that you try and be quiet while I'm doing the demonstration so those who do want to watch can hear me speak. We good to go? All righty, let's go have some Van Gogh fun. Let's go Van Gogh ourselves like crazy. Let's go Van Gogh our hearts out.
I'm gonna watch you do the.
Okay.
Yeah, thanks to Zipper, you have no conversation. I know.
No, wait.
You don't have to do that. I forgot to mention we're running low on paint, so try and leave paint for somebody else. All right, here I go with the demo.
It is 10, I just can't spotlight it.
And I do it for mine. Folks at home, I hope you can see. Oh, I know why I have to remove me, no? There we go. So folks who are getting slides, I'm starting the demonstration. If you want to watch me, you can take a break.
I can see it on the screen too, if you can't.
Getting your supplies. So let's pretend I'm doing the sunflower. I'm gonna lightly sketch the shapes and where I want to put them. Remember when you're doing gestural drawing, want to hold the pencil loosely. Okay? I like to hold it up near the eraser. And this is just a sketch. It's not caring about realism. I just want to block in where my shapes are gonna go. Once you've done that, you can put your pencil away. And I have two tools for doing impasto. You can try both, and if you don't like either or, you don't have to use them. You can even use your fingers for doing impasto. It's great fun. This, right, like kindergarten, this, Van Gogh probably used his hands a lot. He was constantly covered with paint. Apparently Theo, his brother, would come to visit him, and he would help Van Gogh clean himself. But palette knife is a tool that artists can use your flower, like Esty is doing. They can't see you at home though. And folks at home, Esty is literally putting her sunflower into the paint. And she's gonna, on the page, she is printing it on the page. You can do that. Why not? No, it's not. It's what we call making a mono. So, but when I use a palette knife, this is a palette knife. They come in different sizes and shapes. You can get really big ones. You can get square ones. Get ones that are more rounded. I like to apply the paint with my brush first and glop it on. And then I can take the palette knife, just like you're buttering bread almost. For those of you who are pastry chefs, when you apply icing, you can spread your paint with a knife. It's wonderful for creating interesting texture. Again, at this point, I'm not concerned about staying true to shape and where I've made the lines. I don't care if I go outside the line. It doesn't matter. You can even mix with the palette knife. And it makes great textural effects. You do it with less paint and more paint. You can also scrape palette knife. And those of you who are doing Starry Night, you can really get those swirly things going on with the palette. We don't have a whole lot of white paint left, but if you want a really thick impasto, the more white you use, the thicker your paint is going to be. This is low quality student grade acrylic paint, and adding the white is really going to thicken it up. Once you've laid the impasto down, then I would recommend getting a thinner brush. You can start defining your form, outlining like Van Gogh to create your shapes. But I didn't do the background, so I don't want to take up all your time. Don't forget the background. Never left anything empty on things, ever. I don't know if you notice in his paintings, had thick paint on every inch of the canvas. Now I'm going to put a painting up on a big screen so that you can see that. And go wild with color. Play with mixing today. Make the colors bright and crazy. I wonder if the petals would say so. I think so. Yeah, women's space, come on in. You can also do impasto with the brush. Alright, just slap the thing on. That's what Brenda did. Use up all your paints today. Start with a little, please, because we don't have a lot, and always go back and get more. All right, I feel like people have lost interest, so. Demo over.
It's going Then I also think about the climate change, that kind of list, because I continue to work on it.
Yes, we have an afternoon class with the garden, it's different. Want to finish your. This afternoon. Thank you, Laura.
Yeah, I don't.
I used to.
Some people can sit on the inside. And work too. Like,
I used to go. "Oh, this chair."
How to show you a photo of.
Yeah. Yes. I don't know, if you love it though. And you know, one person. But then there's my room. This room requires. And they want it. Thank you. Well. You know, we have a middle strip. We need that here, just so everybody knows. Please. Last night I went to full dinner in the hot pot for my husband, and I forgot to turn it on. Forgot to turn it on, I said, ew, it's because you're not really. Eat, and he goes, oh, it's cold. I said, what do you mean it's cold? I told him cooking for hours.
He had an audit different books for that takeout. He asked them to decide their favorite artist dress. He couldn't decide them, no. It's half.
Read it in the FDA.
No, up. Half is the no.
Oh.
It's your favorite.
Of course, that's smart kid, good face.
Can you, is that not hysterical?
It's
And that's our
adorable.
last two artists.
He
He couldn't choose
couldn't come today.
between the two, so. My mother said, we were sitting there, and I said, I have a suede jacket. She said, well, just go down there.
I love it. He should become a politician. We need someone who could be.
You know what, though, he's been working at a golf course, so he's like in a weird, being a little too influenced, so maybe in a few years.
Yes. Wow, see how popular Venga is. We've never had so many people here. It's wonderful.
It's nice to the uniform, like to go, there's some hobo with somebody. And she crochets.
Yeah, one girl, yeah, I could work on the internet.
Great. Think that she, we're very bad at crochet. I haven't seen it. Sally, there's not a lot of. If you want to get a start,
You know, it's, you got, since, another one, yesterday that I could find a. Alright, okay, alright. Nice interpretation, like that. I wanted to get some fried Christmas. It's hot. Oh, yes, so that's it. Last time you have to walk. Oh.
Just speak to Laura because they're all both. You listen, you want to speak. Really, I'm so great. Try to find an hour.
Oh, wow. Who does that? Wow. Is she sorry?
All right, sorry, I got sidetracked getting folks all their supplies. I am now going to put a Van Gogh on the screen. And I'm not going to ask which one you want. I'm going to be arbitrary. Going to be a meanie on the screeny. And Lauren, wow, great to see you and your mom. It's been too long.
It has been too long. We've missed you. Taking a little break from school. I'm an art minor now. My major is psychology, but I'm an art minor. So
What a great combo and what a great artist to be looking at to make your announcement.
I couldn't agree more. It's his work is spectacular. If I had seen The Starry Night without the glass, I mean, that's
Would have made your day.
How are you doing? You look well. You do not look like Van Gogh on his worst day ever, on any day. Oh, question.
Yes.
I want to do a seascape. Is that all right? It's more ocean with a slight sailboat. Are you choosing one?
I'm choosing one, but you have access to the internet, so you can do whatever your heart desires.
Is that all? Okay.
And
Excellent.
I just realized I forgot to share. I opened one up, but then I forgot to share it. Oh, sharing is not turned on. Laura, if you could turn share back on. So, Meanie of the Screeny, I love this. My new title has decided to put up the sunflower picture. But you guys, those of you who have smartphones here, those of you who have your laptops at home or iPads, choose whichever Van Gogh is moving you. And Judy, you have your own watercolors, okay? You cannot recreate impasto with watercolor, just saying. But you can certainly use Van Gogh as an inspiration. Now, those of you who are joining for the afternoon class, it starts at 1 p.m. We are doing an artist who is totally different. His name is Joseph Cornell, but I realized this morning there is a connection. Joseph Cornell descends from Dutch ancestors. Two quite prominent Dutch New York families, but beyond that, they have no similarities. Those of you who are here in person, you may leave your morning project in situ, as they say, right where you're sitting, and continue working on it in the afternoon. Even though the artist is different, you will have to sit through the second slideshow, but you can keep working on your Van Gogh and listen to the second slideshow about the different artists.
Liz, May I ask, what is your favorite thing about Van Gogh and the afternoon artist? If okay, favorite is hard.
That's a
One
toughie.
of
I think my favorite Van Goghs are the self-portraits.
you
I,
can really see the journey of him into basically despair. He becomes gaunt. The colors are darker. It's just
yes.
amazing.
But the self-portraits really are such a window into his genius and his skill. I
Mhm.
think they're just so virtuosic. And he's primarily self-taught, he didn't go to art school as far as I know.
He was an art dealer for a while. I remember that.
Right. Looked at the art of other artists. He spent time, I think, in museums when he was in Paris. So, and he started drawing from an early age. He worked in the textile industry for a while,
Mhm.
but the man could draw. And you can really see his drawing ability in his self-portraits, in everything he did, but I'm very attracted to the way he drew the human face.
It's intense but delicate, especially the last one you showed,
Yeah, that was good.
which I
Yeah.
love.
And I love, have you been to the Van Gogh Museum?
I have not.
The way he outlined everything in this deep, rich azure blue
Mhm.
just takes your breath away. It's just extraordinarily beautiful.
I couldn't agree
And
more.
Joseph Cornell, I just love everything about his work. Just exquisite, little tiny jewel-like gems. Each one of his boxes are a trip into a fantasy land.
Wow.
Bless you, Eileen.
Bless you, Eileen.
Gesundheit.
Oh, okay.
You're welcome. Someone wants to mix brand. Any of the primaries with the secondaries will give you brown. And my favorite combo is orange with blue.
Okay, thanks a lot.
Yes.
What do you want to do?
Red with green, violet with yellow, orange with blue.
Oh, okay, New York.
And I'll see the hamburger. That's a net. That's a net.
The New flag, the New York flag.
I don't know.
Because they were in something about New York State.
Because like I was sitting.
Because they were Dutch.
I don't know, Van Gogh loves the orange and blue. He used orange and blue a lot. And Van Gogh was a Mets. Right, he was a Mets fan and he sat in the nosebleed seats with his wife. Right. You guys are you so thin, thanks, Oh, I thought you had watercolors today, but you're
So we're.
but you're also using your finger also on top.
Good. It's just sketchy.
Good. Great beginning. You don't have to sketch first. I don't know, do you know Heather, did he sketch on the canvas first? No. He's watching.
You're never gonna live that down, ever.
Never. I think I did it last time. Did you hear what I did last night? I was telling you.
Yeah, it's a little bit easier, but it's great. Listen to the challenge.
No, I'm going. I don't smell it. I might take the box to what we want to do, the area of the nose and I go out and then has that earlier time. Yeah. And it's a big street corner in July. But it's in the West End, London, but it's on film, it's there, but it's to see how the English, like, it's obviously really, but if it, reading.
Yeah.
right?
You think it's like a 40% chance of rain?
Yeah, I say 35%.
85, oh,
No, I think it's 35 after 5 o'clock.
oh, well, I mean, my goodness.
Yeah, I think, yeah. It was over.
Do you have enough room? Would it be better for you to put this on the floor? It's up to you. Well, this for me would be good. Is it so you can put the phone up? It was like your easel. Yeah. Got it. Yeah, this is lovely. Keep going. Don't be timid with the paint. Put lots of paint. Thick, a lot of blues.
You've gotta bring it home.
Well, that's true.
Yeah, that's about
Yeah.
That is true. It's true. That's a purchase a hair dryer. Then we always step with this one hair dryer.
Here's your, what you want to donate, your stuff.
Bring our own.
I still have to use it.
Right. I said Diane's not gonna bring a hair dryer.
I don't even know. What in a car drive.
I don't know when it's supposed to.
I don't know. You gotta make sacrifices for all.
And then at the end of his bus ride.
My mother
his name was that sword.
Sacrifices or views.
I think it's on the bus.
I agree.
I never had one. I should have got philosophy. I never had.
Be, lay, whatever it takes.
You could have done
I
that.
don't know.
You don't get on a bus there. You
Right.
don't get the bus there.
No, it was the argument, the bus driver.
Then you didn't have money.
I was gonna, excuse me, was your mom in on this? Oh.
My first.
Oh, what's the first thing on my head? Sorry.
If you don't have money, at least you try to get one so you can do. Because this is, you know, it's gonna be-
Yeah, you get more.
First, when I went to junior prom, I thought it was just like a fire.
That was.
I was just trying to do his job.
When I was a kid.
No, I know that.
We're sick office. Where there was so, you know,
Yeah,
they-
to that.
No,
And
you
I
can't
remember
do that.
it's,
But if,
I
you
think
know,
it was
bus-
sex, because
buses
it's sex
are
was
all-
here, so the back of this goes out. And she had this beautiful, magnetic, you know, rear end stuff. But then, well, everything was pushed in and all the way up to the top, well, it's back. You know, they said, it's not.
This girl, in school, it was like party on the rest.
Remember
The
Gordon?
garter belt was attached to the freaking garter.
Oh, I know who was Gordon. Did you go to
We had to wear
Catholic High School?
stockings.
Did you go to Catholic High School?
High school, no?
I was like, oh, the Lincolns.
Well, we didn't know what we were. We could not to wear stock.
Guys in public high school?
Yeah, that's weird.
Wow, that sounds like the Catholic school.
And that was in the sixties.
That's interesting. But remember those plastic girdles things? They're like instruments.
Oh, it was so
They try to put them on the socks. I mean, the garter belt?
Yeah, the garter belt was attached.
But we never wore stockings to high school. I mean, she was.
Oh, I had to.
This ritzy suburban. high
And
school.
we had to wear the little kitten heels.
The one bridge we didn't have to wear.
Please.
It was even ritzier. than Clinton.
And the gingham dress with the circle collar. And the circle pin.
No, I remember circle skirts, they were held high.
Oh, the felt, the poodle skirts. I wore, and I had a ponytail. Folks at home, you good? We lost your mom, Lauren. What happened? Or is she with your aunt?
I'm here.
You're there. Okay.
Oh,
We lost Susan. Where did Susan go?
I don't know. I did notice.
It's all good.
What do you need? What? Yeah, that's all right.
Notice the background. sunflower painting. Don't forget it. Judy has it good. Keep going. Everyone always focuses on the flowers first. Don't forget the background.
Shit.
Paint the flower beautifully, but up against a plain white background, you won't see the flower. It will get swallowed up by the empty whiteness. Well, I always paint the largest spaces first. It's much easier than trying to get close to the edges of the petals. And I've set up almost every single class, but it's a 50% of the time that is a virgin.
Okay. Well, it works.
You're fresh today.
You do feel a little frisky today.
Nothing wrong with that.
That's all right.
I told my physical parents, I feel real bunch.
Good. Whoa.
Loving.
Yeah, I agree.
You mind if I swear?
My lip hurts.
This afternoon, if you come for the Cornell class, we are going to create sculpture. And because I had two different artists today, I couldn't bring everything that you might want to use for building your sculpture. So if you have like little tiny objects, things like buttons or, you know, broken, it's like costume jewelry or shells, bring them with you, little tiny toys. They would be useful in this afternoon's class. Usually I bring that kind of stuff with me, but I couldn't carry everything. You have things like that at home that you might want to use in your sculpture. Do bring them with you. There we go.
Get myself some
Separate them.
impressions. Could I reach over and get you? Sure. Okay.
You could just move your pants, that's what.
That was very.
Some work. No. And you can see you can't.
I'll do the leaning over, because I'm only gonna need to dabble sometimes.
Oh, I see.
Not. Oh, no. You have to be careful on the internet, John. Which reminds me of. No, Vermeer painted the girl with the pearl earring, not Vincent van Gogh. They were both Dutch. Maybe that's why.
So, it better not go.
Some of the AI names. Van Gogh did not paint the girl with the pearl.
Actually,
I mean, I'm not an art historian, but that much I know.
Oh, yeah, right.
I'm good, how are you?
Sure. Watch out for sleep.
That's all right.
I ruined it.
Yeah, everything I wear here is allowed to get.
Yeah, very nice.
我加了百乐，那这是粉色。
Might need some more white. Let's see if we can get some more white out of the container. John, stop looking, start reading.
I had it.
So always you're gonna run out of time.
The horse. Oh, I think this is my name.
So now you're doing more impressions. Yeah. You realize? This is what impressions.
But I'm just trying to get
And
thick.
also the post impressions, like, so, see.
Do you think it's
Wonderful, look at you, it's great, Dolly. I'm sorry they're under their.
Sorry, I'm thinking, you know what, I just discovered something though. I like, when I mix something partially here, I like the way it looks. So I'm gonna put it right on there.
That's what you're supposed to do.
But I mean,
Put it.
you know, I'm learning.
Yeah.
It's fun.
And that's what artists sometimes, just serendipitous, serendipitous occurrences, I think.
You asked me about brown numbers, that's what it's three, for mixing one primer on one secondary.
You just make all three primary colors.
All together, like that.
Yeah, I'll agree.
I've been like, that's been my favorite. They came out really nice. They put on these.
Then if you want a warmer tone, add more red or yellow.
Then again,
If you want more warmer tone,
I want brown, but I don't like brown, I don't like brown.
like a warm brown, you'd add a little bit more red or yellow. If you wanted it to be cooler, like darker, you add more blue.
Yeah, I would.
Well, blue and
So do
Blue and orange makes a really nice.
red, yellow.
Yeah, nice. Van Gogh's favorite brown.
blue and what, yellow?
Yellow and orange and red.
I'm going in colors for all of them.
Then you add some red.
It's like tomato sauce. Very excited. I think this.
It looks like a face almost. But don't destroy the yellow. That's what.
I've already destroyed everything. I mean, you're giving me the wrong ideas.
Okay.
I'll go there, I'll go there.
No, I wanna get the yellow people. Let's get it for here,
Gettable? I don't even remember what I just did.
You know, you need some probably short-term memory.
Well,
that was a big thing.
There, well,
no, because I guess, I don't know.
Yeah, that's right, yes.
So you will grew up in Ritzy, I guess Morristown is here.
You know, Alice, I'm God, I thought about it.
No, it's true.
Where Orange Town, that you from?
No, I go.
A friend of mine, like,
I said that to you.
now, it's.
And the reason is,
Yeah, my cousin is down in Orange Township. She got. And I remember.
Tiny brushes like this. Get into the. She finds on the same town.
You know, correlate what it did. Especially Ritzy, everyone. She's like, he's so great about it. It's right with businessman. Like, all right,
I can get some more. I mixed everything with one. What this is, doesn't matter.
And you want to control those.
Got it. I got a little brown.
Oh, good, good. I'm gonna see her. Yeah, oh, this is so. Okay.
Love it.
It's reddish brown.
Yeah, good, good. I'm gonna see her.
Let's see, yeah, so nice, should I be? Yeah. Love the work we're doing. I have no idea what time it is. 54, okay. So we have time. Start thinking about whether or not you want to share today or if you want to keep working.
No, no kidding, you know. Isn't that funny? I love it, but
Can you imagine going to art school and having studio people?
That was my favorite, those were my favorite classes, the labs, like the 6 hour classes.
Yeah.
I love them, especially like in pottery or like the lab class. I was a fine arts major for a short time.
You guys at home are good?
I was every major.
Yep.
Okay, good. Here's what we really need, Eileen and Jen. Over here. You need a community arts and.
Yes, we do.
So people have been voted works. And then you don't even have to clean up, you can come and go, you keep your arts and.
Well, I'm liking what Michael Russo is saying.
Yeah,
And I think it includes that.
yeah, he's giving promising.
Did you get anything like you wanted? You know, well, like you were interested in the round of. Get it?
That's how we gotta vote now, who's gonna give us what we need, for real. Not for fake. Oh, I.
Or do somebody with beautiful blue.
That part is cool.
I guess you can make it lighter.
A smaller brush.
I think she ran out.
I have a little tiny bit of white.
That's a line. Now, to make it really tender, the outline is important. Okay. Like, it's very rough. So, okay. Yeah, rough and blurry and stuff. Rough. Oh. Nice. Very nice. Very nice. Washington is great drawing. And keep drawing, you don't have to work in colors.
Yeah, this very pale. Yeah.
It's Alice.
Right.
Minute. Gotta make this darker.
You hear for art class? Yeah. Cool. This one is just left. Oh, and she left it. So there's plenty of space. All the art supplies I have. You know yourself.
What, Brittany?
To pick up. So feel free to walk. My name's Sid.
Might be so. It's got that. Well, good thing we have two classes. Did you come back? Yeah, yeah.
Sorry, I didn't. I'm old and feeble. Can't recognize me. I recognize you, I couldn't remember your name. My son is. That's me. That's me.
It's my birthday, I'm sorry.
It's your birthday. Happy birthday. Oh, doing art on your birthday is the best.
There's literally nothing else I'd rather.
Thanks, baby. Hey,
They have.
Do you guys know each other?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Okay. Okay.
My new favorite brown too.
Red and green combo?
No,
No.
orange and blue.
It's very warm, rich brown.
The air conditioner switched back on.
Tomato? Let me get some of this. This is a little darker.
What kind of band? People think?
Well, I know Bosnia was saying that you're Steve. Passed away. I always hung out with all this musicians.
Yeah.
I used to hang out at the gallery downtown Circle City. Well, they call that Fort Worth. So many people. We used to have a big studio, a building called 111. We had all kinds of exhibitions.
I remember that.
Remember 111?
I do remember that. Yeah. I was going, I'm just saying, this is my friend the other day, and she didn't remember. But there used to be a gallery, I think it's kind of like in the area where Liz's studio is now, like on 440, like all the way on that side. There used to be an artist group called Art Box. You remember that?
I used to go to Cooper down on Grove Street.
Uh-huh.
My friend did.
Yeah, no, I remember that.
There, they also,
My God.
studios at 111, and then they lived there, and then the landlords got like really mad, so they kind of shut the building down.
Yeah, I
Cause there was a lot of people like using like the community bathroom, and they didn't realize people were gonna live there, and that could be a big.
Yeah.
That he was a genius. Yeah. He sure could run.
Yeah.
I'm hearing it's not true.
I do.
Well, you're cutting me off.
There's nothing wrong with here.
Just got one off.
Oh, that was good.
I like the comic relief today.
Gotta laugh.
That's right.
If you got it off, I mean.
Yeah.
Remember, he is joyous. For using soft pastel, you're not gonna be able to replicate. And that's a digital copy of probably of a photograph of the Van Gogh painting. Throw it away. Throw it away in order to keep carrying it around. I like that. That's beautiful. Well, it's, you're doing your style. That's okay. Very beautiful, as it's Jen, in a different kind of way, as it's Eileen's. Eileen, I want you to focus on the background.
I'm trying to find I'm trying to find cup that has no color in it, so I can, I like blue, I'm gonna make a light blue background. Eileen, you can take my, thank you very much.
There you go, and you want to start with white.
Do you need more blue, I mean?
No, she's
No, I-
got plenty of blue, she needs white.
I mean, there's no,
There- There's
I don't
none left.
that's
What's
why I'm
wet?
gonna use water, right?
There's none left.
You use I tried already.
Do I use it for mine?
Right?
What-
I don't know, I mean, like, I have to do this whole thing.
Yeah, that, you know.
Here we go. Hey, that's wrong.
I'll take the white first.
No, add it to the.
No, that's too
No,
small.
no. You add a tiny bit of blue to the white.
So there's hardly any white. Yes, you're genius.
Finally, somebody. Did we get that on tape?
You don't
Yeah,
have, I know,
you probably have enough blue already in this. Mix this with the white. Well, somebody was the real genius and put this in the holder upside down. Thanks to John. You're the genius.
Where's the white one?
I want them in scratch. Oh, start scratching. You might even use the hard tip brush.
Okay.
You know what I really love about her? I'm obsessed with dolls. Make a place and see if I can find them. The doll has to. I'm gonna go to the income. So it has its thing. I saw it.
Oh, very nice.
It's like beautiful, socially. I'm obsessed with dolls. Oh, doll for it. And there's a doll hospital in Secaucus. I would love to intern.
Do they like fix them and all?
Oh my God.
I think that was like the American Girl love.
Well, I have made some choices by Dan. I have dolls all over my car. Oh, I love it. I used to do that when my mom did our house. I used to buy dolls and make clothes and someone else like that. Bob's dolls, all kinds of dolls. That's what I mean. That's my passion.
Here we go. What are we doing now?
It's just a big problem in the tree. She doesn't have to see clocks because lots of music.
Les amis, les étudiants, les élèves.
You want to share today?
Maybe later.
Wait, I think it's crowded.
Maybe after the this place. Right.
Nice, nice.
I too, but I studied a lot, and it's
Totally good.
I studied a lot too, but I never got to speak it.
That says to me you don't want to share.
I studied French too, and all I know is the bonjour, so far.
Well, they're gonna want to share. They always want to share.
Because you have to have somebody to talk,
I know.
you have to have somebody.
Well, I ended up talking when I was.
Daniel, I know Daniel wants to share. Folks at home, do you want to share or do you want to keep working?
Share.
Keep working.
Oh, that's unusual.
Yeah.
All right, here's what we're gonna do.
Oh.
We're gonna keep working, except I'm gonna stop the share of the Van Gogh painting, sorry. And there are a few people here who would like to share their work. So conversation in class has to stop so that people who want to come up to the big screen can share their work. Shh. Gabby, I think do you want to share? You looked at me. Gabby. I mean, Abigail, not Gabby. Abigail, do you want to share?
I guess I'm ready to see.
Oh,
I was having a little bit of a hard time, but I'll share. Here's mine.
you don't have to. Before you looked at me as if you wanted to share. If you want to share, come up to the screen.
Mine's not finished, but I'll share.
Okay, we're going to share the people here first, Lauren, okay?
No, of course, of course. Oh, wow.
This is Abigail. So if you have a minute to look up from your work, everyone, you don't have to, but this is a great beginning, Abigail. I like how you're kind of busting loose in the middle and getting
Yeah, I'm
a
trying.
little more texture.
Yeah, I'm trying to learn that.
Bravo. Daniel, you want to share? You usually want to share. And then Diane, you wanted to share. Oh, okay, so you're not in a rush.
I think artistically I'm finished, but I'm proud at least for the progress.
Wow, great job. Love it.
I really love this one, the way you have it turned away like this. Very interesting.
Well, that one, the picture was, there are actually three, but I made a little bit of mistake on how can I say positioning, but so I had to make it my own, at least positioning.
Yeah.
Very good.
Really well
I
done.
know that the pedals looks unfinished, but I only try to do as simple as possible for considering the time limit.
Yes, exactly.
Well done, Daniel. Diane, come on up. So Diane is one of our students who travels on the bus, so she could not use paint.
2 hours, an hour here and an hour back. And North Bergen, yeah. Yeah, it takes an hour. Takes an hour. But I used crayons and some glitter paint and
It's wonderful.
thank you. Just a little mishmash.
Hold it up just a bit. It's really charming.
Thank you.
Great use of the blue outline
you.
too.
Thank
Love
you.
it.
That was your
You want me to share?
suggestion.
Here comes Jen is gonna share.
So I want to share my brand. Of course, I'm not there yet.
Very nice.
Textural
Cool.
effects.
I love the textures and the way you've combined these colors. Beautiful.
Thank you. I loved that Liz pointed out I was really going more in the direction of the Impressionists, but I didn't have the knife, so I was putting my thickness with a small brush.
Gotcha.
Beautiful.
I'm getting there.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Yes. Judy, come on up. No one has to share, but sharing is a great way to get ideas.
I'm trying to email.
Oh,
Very-
wow. Oh my goodness. Beautiful.
Really working on the textural effect in the flowers themselves, loving what's going on here, right?
And the perspective of the vase is coming. through.
Yes, perspective is
Beautiful.
well done also.
Thank you.
Bravo, Judy.
Thank you.
See you later, Lindsay. Alice is coming up.
Oh, they don't hurt.
Alice too.
That was two.
Careful of the wire.
Ooh, very-
Alice went in the direction of drawing. Just gorgeous, right?
That's very good.
Very different, but your style, which is what I'm always looking for. Eileen, you want to show?
I don't like it. This is the first time I ate it. I hate it.
You're Meshuggah because it's great. All right, it looks like Lauren, you're next. So I'm gonna spotlight you.
All right. Oh, this is far from finished. Okay. So I'm doing a seascape,
Oh,
Ooh,
wow.
and the layering
Bring
obviously.
it a little closer to the screen if you can.
Let me do it this way.
Fantastic, Lauren.
I'm sorry about that. Can you see that better?
very nice
Yes, wow.
waves in the boats.
We're getting there. We're getting there.
Yeah.
Super texture, super color.
Thank you.
I like the waves on the bottom. They really are giving that a nice balance to the white sails on the top.
Thank you. I'm really feeling the painstaking strokes that Van Gogh goes through and makes it look effortless, but it's like meditative. So
Yay. Woohoo.
wonderful. I'll
Well
finish it for
done.
later.
Good
And
job.
thank you.
Bravo. Margot, do you want to?
No, mine is too green. Too
All
incredible.
right. I respect
Yeah.
you. Anyone else here who wants to?
That's what I did.
All right, so I'm sorry to those of us here. Guess what time it is?
Howdy doody time?
Time to clean up. And remember, we have limited space. We only have one sink. So if you want to share duties and clean up, that might help, but it is time to clean up, everyone. Remember, if you're coming back for the afternoon class, you do not have to clean up. I would recommend rinsing out your brushes. However, acrylic paint does dry very fast. And once the brushes are hard, they're going to be difficult to use. If you're not coming back for the afternoon class, you absolutely must clean up and take your artwork with you. This afternoon, if you're planning to come back, and if you're planning to come on Zoom and in person, please register on the library website so that we have more of an idea of how many people are coming in person and online. I would love to see you all back for our exploration of Joseph Cornell. He is an equally fascinating artist, not quite as famous as Vincent van Gogh, but a really, really wonderful artist.
Thank you.
I'm not going to say goodbye yet because we still have 10 minutes in class.
Cool.
But those of you who are here, you must start cleaning, please.
It's orange.
The most interesting. I know. That's what.
I have got an appointment afternoon, so when I met, maybe you have to.
I understand. I was glad to see you this morning, and I will see you Friday. Beautiful painting today.
She did, that's.
So, Abigail, you have to start cleaning.
Liz, do you want to go something?
Good luck. Bye.
Hey, baby.
There is another bathroom upstairs. You can go in the elevator to the main floor and use the sink up there, but please don't leave a mess, obviously.
Second class?
The second class, we're doing an artist named Joseph Cornell, and we're doing what's called assemblage. And you're welcome to come back. It starts at 1. Absolutely, go eat. Artists do not live by art alone.
What time does it go from?
3,
Great.
from 1 to 3. Thanks for coming, Michelle, and bringing friends.
Okay, see you in a little bit.
Bye, Diane.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go down the street and call.
Yeah, I hope it's nice enough still out there to, because I might see you over there.
Yeah, I'm thinking that may wait, but I can wait a long time. Right. I'll do that. Okay.
Thank you. So see you next time. Thank you.
Thank you for coming. I hope you enjoyed. You did a beautiful painting today.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Liz?
This is a friend she hasn't seen in a long time. I'll talk to her better.
You know.
She's French, but, go talk to her. I like your painting too.
Will it like,
Yeah.
if you not try?
What I would recommend is put some drops of water on it and then get, if you can find a cover that fits, you know, that's the problem is I have such an assortment of covers. Bye, Alice.
I just heard, so Daniel was gonna dump this, and I said, well, I'm coming back, so let me use this.
Yeah, put some droplets of water on it, it'll be fine. Yeah, you might, it'll still be good by the time you come back. Oh, thank you so much. Okay, Carrie. Thank you, Carrie. Wonderful. So you enjoyed class? Wonderful. Your painting is just, and I like how you combined Starry Night with the sunflowers. That was very clever. Do you live in Hoboken?
Yes.
Oh, good.
I moved here in this July.
So you've been here a while. Good. Good. So every Wednesday from 10:30 to 12:30. And today, it's unusual, but today we have the afternoon class as well.
What time is it?
The afternoon class today starts at 1 p.m. And you can continue working on this painting, but I'm going to be talking about this artist. Bye, Heather. Thanks for coming. We're talking about another artist, Joseph Cornell. Completely different kind of art. He does what we call assemblage, which is more like sculpture. You're so welcome. Thank you for coming.
We can leave our pictures on the table. You're gonna come
Yeah.
back?
If you're coming back. Now, if you don't come back, I'm not responsible, Abigail. Remember that. The library will throw it away,
That's fine.
just so you know.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. So, Lauren, how you doing? You good?
The perspective is really hard for me. I don't know why. And this is just,
I'll tell you why. It's difficult for everyone.
thank God for that. But I can't, this feels so muddy. I don't like, like, this is supposed to be,
Muddiness has nothing to do with perspective, so.
do you see the bow? It's supposed to be where this red is, it's kind of like the front of the ship
Yes.
coming out of the water, and I can't tell if I'm,
Here's my suggestion. You're starting to obsess about one tiny piece of the painting. Let it go.
okay.
Work somewhere else. And one of the areas that's a little confusing for me at the moment in the painting is the kind of greenish corner in the bottom left hand.
Here,
Yeah,
I'm gonna be,
left hand. For you, it's the right hand.
I'm going to detail this a little bit more as
Yeah,
kind of a
maybe
base.
work more on the water and how you're representing the water.
Okay.
Leave the boat for a while. I think the boat looks finished. Come
But-
back to it later and think about it more later.
Okay,
The boat looks really good right now, so
thank you.
I think you're
Thank you
thinking
so much.
about it too much. Goodbye, Patricia.
Show mine now.
Oh, okay, Margos, your aunt wants to show hers now.
Excellent.
Just-
Are you
yeah,
in the same room? Because you
No,
We're not,
okay.
just a moment. I'll be
But
right.
Lauren, advice, when
Yes.
you start stressing about one specific part of your work, let it go and come back to it later. Oh,
Okay.
Margo, this is great.
Oh, wow, Aunt Margo, that's gorgeous. Watercolor?
It
yes,
is watercolor.
Excellent.
yeah.
Look at what's happening digitally.
I know, I can't get it to focus on the painting. You have to pull my face out of it, I don't know. Anyway. It's,
Build up the layers. Just keep going. Slow.
I'm getting dry.
You're coming back this afternoon. You can keep working on it this afternoon. Or
Yeah.
send me a JPEG when you're finished. Bye, ladies. Everybody here is leaving.
Okay, well, you asked him to clean up. That's usually a precursor. Anyway, yeah, I'm coming back this afternoon, I think.
So you can work more on it this afternoon. I'll be here to help you, but I'm doing a different artist, just so you know, Joseph Cornell this afternoon.
I know.
All right, my time is up here. I need to go eat my lunch. I will
Enjoy.
see you guys later.
Bye, we'll see you later.
And those of you on Zoom and YouTube, Art On, I will see you either this afternoon. Please register for the afternoon class. And if not this afternoon, I will see you next week, everyone. Take care. Do look, see art.